Hello all and welcome to Wow Crochet yet again for another tutorial. And in today's tutorial we are attaching our third square to our blanket. I'm struggling to get it all in frame, so I'm using not using the frame to hold the camera in place. I'm actually just recording it myself. Now I actually wanted to show you something. The reason I've put my crochet hook here, for those who have been doing the blanket with me will know that I mentioned that there was a couple of squares that I did in a size 4mm hook and a couple and the rest of them that I did in a 4.5. Well, check this one here out. You can see this one was done in a 4mm hook. It is a lot smaller than the rest. Whoops, sorry about the shaky hand there, guys. I'll let go of the camera, sorry. So don't panic too much, because once you add your next colour, I'm guessing it'll be the blue, I'm not sure yet, it will sort itself out. So if you've accidentally used the wrong size hook, it doesn't matter. It does sort itself out. All right. For my regulars, yay, guess what? After this join, we are halfway through. Yay. For any newcomers who are new today, welcome. You haven't missed out. We are doing a crochet granny square blanket, crochet along. I still haven't got it right. We're doing a blanket that we're all working together with. It's a crochet along. You haven't missed out. All of the links to this blanket will be in the description box down below. What else can I say? Don't forget to have your hook with you today, the same hook you used to join your last squares. You will need your third colour, which mine was the beige. I'm just showing you my very next colour. You may need your scissors. You may also need a sewing needle, a darning needle, if you end up like yours truly, where I ran out of yarn on my skein and I actually had to get a new skein of yarn. So if you are anything like me and your yarn has run out, I'm sorry, you will have another thread to weave in, even though I said you shouldn't. If you were using a 140 gram ball or a 180 or even a 200 gram ball or skein of yarn, you will not run out, okay? You will make the whole blanket with just that one thread. Sadly, my skeins were 50 grams, so they're actually running out, all right? What else can I tell you? There is nothing new to the stitch you see today. It is just doing that there, exactly there. So if you want to go ahead and do it, that's fine. If you need a refresher course, that is what today's tutorial is for. Just remember though, at the end of your corner where you finish off, don't cut your thread, because you're going to need it to attach your very next one in 8 days' time. So without further ado, no more chatting, let's get on with crocheting our squares together. Alrighty, here is where we left off 8 days ago. Okay, so what we need to do now, you may need your scissors if you're anything like me and your ball of yarn is very sad ending off. You'll need to get yourself a second ball. I know I only said we would only end up with 2 threads at the end of this tutorial to weave in, but no, I'm running out of yarn. Mine is only a 50 gram skein, so I knew it would kind of not make it all the way through. If you're using 100 grams, you may make it all the way through. I doubt very much you will, because we are on our third section here, and I'm running out. So hey, you never know. Depends on your yarn that you're using. All right, so I'm going to probably run out at the end of this row, probably before we even start adding the beige, but that's okay. So we're going to get started. No more talking, Mary. Stop talking and get started. Here we go. All right, that's still not close enough. How about there? All right, so we need to double crochet your first cluster set in that corner. 1, 2 and 3. Let me just bring that up a little bit more. Now you are going to do a normal corner turn as you would if you were crocheting your granny squares. So it's 1 and 2 chains, and then you put your second cluster set in your corner. Now for those of you who are already experienced crocheters, if you want to go ahead and do this row, then you can. Just remember, when you get to this section here, you need to slip stitch in that chain, all right? But we are going to, it's not that far off, so you may as well just stick around and do this part here with us. Do your next cluster set in the next space. Cluster set is 3 double crochets. I will go as fast as I can, or as I possibly can. My hands are all sore today, guys. I've been crocheting far too much. I've had the extra time today to do some crochet, so I've done a bit too much, and my hands are a little bit sore. Okay, and there's your next cluster set in your next space, and that's 3, yes? Doesn't look like it, but it is, yes. And there's your next cluster set in your next space. Okay, and the next cluster set is in our corner. So we are going to pop our cluster set in the corner. When I finish this one right here, there's our corner right there. Okay, so we're going to pop our 3 double crochets in there. 1, 2, and 3, like so. And it's a little bit thick, this corner, because I've got my thread in the grey there. All right, so before we join anything, we chain 1. Yes, then we remember that chain. Now look closely, not your double crochets, but the chain right in there. We want to pick up 2 threads. I have picked up 2. There's 1 underneath. Pull the loop through like so. Chain 1 again, and then you do your normal cluster set in that next corner. 1, 2, and 3. Then you jump into your very next space, and we'll stop and have a quick look at what you've done. And then, my dears, I think you can go ahead and do the rest of the row yourself for now. Whoops. My thread is pulling now because it's at the end of its tether. Okay, so here we are. This is what we've done. All right, this is just so thick there in the corner. Okay, so there you go. That's what you have done. Hopefully yours isn't as tight as mine. All right, so that's what we've done with these 2. So what I want you to do is go ahead and do the whole, whoops, not there, the whole row until you get to the very last corner. Do 3 double crochets and wait for me there, and we will start joining our squares. Meet you back in a moment. Okay, so this is what we have done so far. We have joined all of our greys, or we actually haven't joined all of our greys. We have completed the grey join. Now yours truly is about to run out of yarn. I'm playing a little bit of yarn chicken. I have a funny feeling I'm going to run out. But in the meantime, we're going to get started with adding that extra square. Oh, we're so excited. We're ready for square number 3. Oh, I get so excited about these things. Sorry, guys. Okay, here's where we got to. You did your 3 double crochets here. It's a little bit closer even. Okay, you did your 3 double crochets. Now, do you remember in our previous tutorials, when we got to the corner before we're adding another square, we need to actually chain 1 and then turn our work a little bit. Grab your, you know what, that is far too close. You're seeing my hand in triple version, hey? Got big hands, but not that big. All right, so there we go. I like to, like I said, I like to start on an area where I don't have a thread. Now that's the thread that we finished our granny square on, so I'm going to start just before it. All right, so we have chained 1. Now we're just going to grab the yarn as if we're doing a double crochet, which we are doing a double crochet, and we're going to double crochet into that very first corner we've come to. So double crochet just 1. Whoops, don't lose a stitch like I just did. Okay, just the 1. Pays to hold both of the items when we're doing this part. Now hopefully you've done your chain stitch a little bit loose, not as tight as mine, because we're going to need that later. Okay, so now we lift up our loop, and I'll get a nice close-up of the area where you need to put your hook in. Okay, there's your 3 double crochets, there's your V's, remember from previous tutorials, our little V's, 1, 2 and 3V. You need to put it in the very last stitch that you did previously. Then you grab your little loop here, little loop. You try to say that fast. Say it fast 10 times, I dare you. Little loop, little loop, little loop, little loop. Sorry, I got sidetracked again. Okay, you've grabbed your loop. Now pull it through slowly or fast, whichever suits you. And there it is. Then we're going to put a double crochet in the corner again. Pull up the loop again. Corresponding stitch right there, that second stitch. Put your hook in, grab your loop, and pull it through the loop. Okay, double crochet again. I'm trying not to get out of the screen there. Sorry about that, guys. There's your double crochet. Lift your loop. Now your corresponding stitch on the last one is kind of half in the middle of your next stitch, but don't put it through the chain space. You actually have to put it through the stitch. All right, there you go. Now if you're not sure how to do this, I have done a previous tutorial on a large granny square, 4 large granny squares, and it shows you how to do this a lot better. All right, or a lot clearer, I should say, not a lot better, a lot clearer. We're doing it exactly the same. All right, sorry about that, I just brought it down for no reason. Okay, so now we are going to double crochet into the because we've done our 3 here, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go into the very next stitch. Now your very next stitch is not this way, it's this way. All right, so 1 double crochet in there, pull up your loop. Now your corresponding stitch will be the very first stitch you come to on that side. It's actually the last stitch from that side, second last, or third, fourth, telling lies. Okay, there's your loop, and pull it through. Okay, so there you go. Double crochet, pull up your loop, in the other stitch, pull the loop through, and there you go. Double crochet again. It's always 3 double crochets in the other square. Pull your loop through, and there you go. All right, so what you have thus far is that. So now what I want you to do the rest until you get to that corner. Do your corresponding stitches for each stitch there. Oh, actually, I just do it up to there and I'll meet you up. All right, where you should be is that corner there. I'll just pull that last through, lead through, loop through. I don't even know what lead means. Well, I know what it means, but nothing to do with crochet at all. All right, loop through, that's what I meant to say. So now we are going to start with our double crochets in the corner. So we put 1 double crochet in that corner only, pull up that loop. Now, corresponding corner right here, 1, 2, and 3. These are the stitches we need to go through. So your first one is there. So grab that loop, pull it through. Do another double crochet in that corner. It's funny because it looks like it's not going to make it. It looks like it's going to be crooked, but it's not. But it doesn't, that is. There you go. Doesn't. Ugh, pull that through. Sorry, my hands are really sore today, guys. Do another double crochet in there. Okay. There's a loop. Pull it through your last stitch. Okay. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. And this is a part where a lot of people were worried, but we did do those 4 squares, the large squares. Those 4 large squares are a lot easier to see in this section. So if you can't see it, go ahead and have a look at our 4 large squares. I've left a link in a description box down below. I've called it the 4 chunky squares or something like that. So just click on that link and it'll show you this part a lot easier. So we got to the corner, we chain 1, pull up a loop. Now, that corresponding corner, you must pop your hook in there. Okay, grab your loop, pull it through, chain 1. Guess what, guys? You have another corner right on the other side there. All right, pop your loop on there, pull it through, like so. Oops, don't lose a stitch like I did. Don't lose that stitch. Pull it through, chain 1. Now you just Make that chain one a bit tight, because if it's too loose, you're going to be in trouble later like I was in the previous tutorial. Okay, and just do your normal double crochet in that space right there. And another one. And another one. Pull up your loop, and this is what you have done. All right, have a quick look there. You've gone from there, into there, into there, turned, or did your chains, turned, and now you're going to crochet all of that, and then you're going to add that square. When you get down to there, all of that, turn, add the square. When you get down to there, stop and meet me up, and we'll finish off that corner. All right, here we are. Yours truly, oh, probably got done too fast then, sorry. Yours truly has already done her corner. I might take it undone for you so you can see. And we'll do the corner together. Okay, so here we go. Oh, that's probably too close, isn't it, guys? I'm trying to get my camera work to happen. So we go into the next corner there. One, pull up the loop, grab your last stitch or your first stitch, and I've lost my loop. See, that's what happens when you rush. I'm trying to rush to get the tutorial done because my hands are so sore. Okay, there we go. So there's one, pull up that loop nice and tall so you don't lose it like I just did. And there you go. And then number two, pull up that loop, pop it in the second corresponding stitch. I'll just do this part a lot slower now, guys, because you've got to see that corner. So double crochet there, pull up your loop. Okay, now there's the corner. You don't want to go in the corner yet. You want to go into that very last stitch right there. Grab that loop. I haven't pulled it through yet, sorry guys. So grab the loop and then pull it through, chain one. All right, then you want to go into the same corner. This is a tricky bit. Grab the loop, pull the loop through, because you're going to lose a stitch doing this, which I've done many times before. Chain one, pull up that loop. You've got another corner right here. This is a tricky bit, guys. If you do it too loose, like I did in a previous tutorial, you will lose everything. Pull that loop through there. Chain one again. Go over to the very last corner, which is right there. You can probably see it. Nice and tight. This is where I lost it last time. Pull the loop through. Chain one. All right, just pull that loop up for a minute so you can see what you've done. You've joined from there to there to there. Now we're going to join over and do our double crochet in there. So no more slipping. We've done our chain one already. No more slipping. No more slip stitching. So we've done our chain one already there. This is where it gets fiddly because your blanket is growing bigger now, so it's going to be a lot fiddlier, if it works, if that's a word. Okay, so nice and tight that stitch there. If you don't do that nice and tight, it'll be pulling like it was in my previous tutorial. So we are going to put a double crochet in your corner right there, just one. Pull up that loop. Now, here's your corresponding corner. Just be careful because when you do that stitch over it, you can miss your very first stitch, which is right in there. Get a nice little close-up for you so you can see it's 1, 2, and 3. So if your stitch was over here, you could miss that first one and you could end up going the second one, which will put your whole row out of whack. So you must get into that first one right there. Grab your loop and pull it through. No more chaining one, just a double crochet back in that center or the corner there. Pull up that loop, corresponding stitch. This is the only fiddly part, guys. Double crochet the third double crochet, which is your last one in that corner, which is going to be a relief. Pull the loop through like so, and just jump with a double crochet in your next stitch. Pull up the loop and hold it there, and I'll show you exactly what you've done. Okay, right there, that is what you've done. Mine might be too tight now, but be careful not to make it too loose, and you'll be careful not to make it too tight, but there you go. All right, so you have performed your beautiful corner. Well, corner, center. All right, so that, my dears, is all there is to joining your next colour. Now, because you've already done this colour to this colour, you know what to do next. All right, so what I want you to do is continue. Go along there, slip stitch in there, slip stitch in there, turn around, go back this way, turn, add your next colour, and so on and so on. And when you get to the end of the row, I shall meet you up. Okay, so here we are at the end of this row. Took a while, didn't it? I know. So you have crocheted all of your third colour on, and now we're at the corner, right? Well, it's not exactly the corner, it's the corner of the third square. Okay, and you know what I should do? Just do the last stitch with you so you know what you're doing. All right, so the last stitch in that corner is double crochet right there. Pull up your loop. Don't forget to put it in the corresponding stitch there first. Beautiful. Chain one. Now, what we need to do is turn the corner and go around the base, yes? But first we're going to pop the hook into that corner there. All right. Pull the loop through. Chain one, and now we perform our turn. Pop 3 double crochets in that corner right there, 2 and 3. Just give it a bit of a tug. So what you've done is you've just literally turned around. Okay, now you're going to pop 3 in the next corner, in the next space. Hello Mary, wake up. 3 in the next one there, 3 in this one. Oh, I hope I'm not going too fast. I'll slow down. Sorry, guys. I tend to forget. Because I was off air for a while, I was crocheting really fast that I forget that the camera's now recording. All right. So 3 in this space here. And then you turn your work a little bit because you are going to put 3, 2, 3 in that corner. So your 3 double crochets. 3, chain 2, 1 and 2, and all you're doing is producing your corner, and now you're putting 3 double crochets in the same corner there. 1. We're going a little bit further with this tutorial. Okay, I've decided because we are halfway in our blanket, we are going to, and I will show you when I bring it out a little bit. We are halfway. Oh, the blanket is getting so big it's hard, it doesn't even fit into the picture anymore. Okay, so we are going to do this section right here, and then I'm going to, actually no we won't, we'll wait until we get back and do it properly like we've been doing all along. So there you go. You have now got to the end of this row. Now what you need to do, and I forgot to bring my other square with me. Oh dear, I've put it away somewhere. Give me 1 second. Okay, so here is your other square. So you have done 1, 2, 3 squares so far. Next week, or in 8 days' time, you will crochet your 4th square. Okay, so your 4th square you need to wash and block and get them ready for the next week. While that's happening, you are crocheting your next colour, and you're also no, that's it. That's all you're doing. You're crocheting your next colour and you're washing and blocking these. Don't forget to finish off this, get to there, and we shall meet again in 8 days' time. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit like, share, all that sort of jazz. And don't forget, when you do subscribe, to hit that bell button so you can receive further tutorials in your inbox. Okay? For any of these items that you've seen, here today, any of this crocheting you've seen here today. If you have missed out on previous tutorials, don't panic, I will put all of them in the description box down below. All the links to them, that is. So there you have it. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and guess what? Ciao for now.